Good afternoon. We have not done a video since October, and so we're hopping online today because we decided it was long overdue.
Yes.
And so in our last video, we talked about the new library procurement procedure and our concerns about it. And so the next month in December, it proved that all of our concerns were very valid. There were over 70 books to review in less than 2 weeks per the procedure. And every single book was not on Common Sense Media, which was one of the changes that they were going to use that for reviewing those books. None of them were there to review. The next part of the procedure was contacting the librarian. And since many of us are full-time working parents, we do not have the time to call the librarian, so I chose to email the librarian about a few books that I just wanted more information about. And unfortunately, the responses that I received were very copy and pasted, kind of a statement that could defend any question or concern, so I didn't really get my questions answered. And at this point, with all the budget concerns and the different things going on within our school district, I really think that you need to show educational value and actual reason for ordering books. And so we're really disappointed about how this has worked out thus far. And we would love, if you feel the same way, if you could communicate that with our school district. The next thing that I'd like to cover is something that happened, I believe, in the January meeting. And that's when they started talking about promise standards, and I didn't really know what that was, but they explained it, and it was a very hot topic that meeting. The conversation lasted quite a while. These are standards that every grade will teach. So before, there was really no standard, and every teacher taught what they deemed was important for that grade. So this process of standards, unfortunately, has taken 5 years to get finalized.
It's ridiculous.
So we finally, after over 5 years, we have a promise standards protocol for the school district. So all of this time, I've been wondering why our students' competency percentages are so low, and this now makes sense. Over the last several years, there has not been any foundational steps in curriculum and fluidity in what is being taught. So we have not prepared kids to move forward. And since no one is being held back and every teacher has different priorities, it's a complete disaster. So, as a parent, I am wondering why teachers who have so much to do and so much to accomplish, and really their focus should be on our kids, were tasked with the job of coming up with these standards. I've never heard of this. I believe that, from what I remember, this is an administration's job, is to hand down these particular things and for the teacher to take hold of those and run with it. And so the administration's job is to make sure things are moving smoothly and that students are moving forward and able to move on to the next grade. And so teachers have too many responsibilities now more than ever, for doing that extra job. It's insane. So I'm going to give you some scores that have recently been shared at the last meeting. They are the Winter I-Ready score. So this kind of measures where all the Walla kids are, kindergarten through 8th grade, in math and reading. And so in math, 16%, and in reading, 25% are fully on target for their grade. I'm going to repeat that. 16% in math and 25% in reading are on perfect target for their grade. Everyone else is below. So now this is improvement based on the fall I-Ready scores. So there has been a jump and an improvement, but it doesn't make the current scores okay. So to explain further, the district is spouting how fabulous these results are. They're seeing jumps in 10% in this grade and a 10% in this grade. And that may be true, but if you look at it through a common sense lens, there are some huge holes in these results that they are considering outstanding. So according to the graphs shared at the meeting, what they highlighted was that students that are 3 or more grades behind are seeing huge percentage jumps. So the students are seeing almost a full year of learning being made up by the end of the year, or a little bit more. So now you have a student who is only 2 years behind instead of 3, because he was able to make up a whole bunch this year. But as soon as school starts again, after the summer, they're once again 3 years behind, because they don't hold anybody back in the Walla Walla School District, whether they're ready to move on or not. Now, while students are learning and moving forward, I don't see the pandemic learning gap, as they like to call it, closing. And they just claimed that in a statement they put out today. The district will also say they are right on track with state and national performance. Well, I don't really control or have a say in the state or national numbers, but we as locals of the Walla Walla Valley should have a say in what is happening in our district, and these percentages are unacceptable.
They're horrible. It was shocking to see the graph.
Yeah, in there online. You can go find them in the agenda of the February meeting. How did we get here? Number one, how did we lose foundational concepts? And how can we successfully get back to making our children's education, and I mean math, reading, the basics, important within our school district? So, at the November meeting, a mom shared how her 5-year-old daughter was mistreated by a staff member, and there were 12 policies not followed during her communication and follow-up with the district. This is a mom passionate about her child being treated appropriately and the district taking her seriously, and they have not. Her testimony is extremely powerful, and you can check that out online at the recording of the November meeting. I would encourage you to look at this. She had a lot of information that she shared, and I do not feel that her voice was heard well, and that they have dealt with the situation properly. One topic as we go on here that keeps coming up is an issue in the learning environment within our district is behavior. Until this is fully addressed and parents are confident that behavior is being dealt with in the classroom, or that 1 or 2 students are running and ruining a classroom, then we will continue to see low percentages in competency, and we will continue to see a drop in enrollment. As of February's enrollment report, the district is down 22 students since October. Now, having beautiful educational facilities is great, and that's what they're touting right now that they've gotten all the construction done. But it's not great if parents can't trust what's happening in those buildings. And children come out uneducated and possibly bullied. And so we need to hold them accountable. Go ahead, Kathy.
Okay.
I think that's all I can possibly get out of my mouth.
Well, I want to bring to your attention a subject that's very concerning to me as a community member about the restrooms in the schools, and that's in Walla Walla Public Schools. There was an incident in a middle school where a male teacher was using a male bathroom and a female student walked in. He quickly finished his business at the urinal and left. This has happened to him twice in the last month. And I was just told the other day by a parent that her son, who's 18 years old, was at the urinal at Wahi in the men's bathroom when a 14-year-old female walked in. It's happened to him twice. And he says that he's not using the bathroom at the school anymore, and because he says it's utterly ridiculous that I cannot go to the male restroom and not have a female walk in. And mind you, this 18-year-old boy only goes to school 1 period a day because he goes to Running Start. So if that's happening to him just 1 period a day, I can't even imagine what else goes on. Now, in my mind, the school district is setting themselves up for a lawsuit, because who's to say that a female entering the men's bathroom doesn't turn right around and say, that man at the urinal flashed me? Because we have a lot of 18-year-olds that go use the boys' bathroom, and we also obviously have men teachers. So why would the school district allow that to happen? And so I just think that's ridiculous. So many teachers have said to me that they're ready to quit because of all the ridiculousness going on in the schools. There are so many great teachers that we do have in the Walla Walla public schools that are ready to give up. I'd also like to talk about a student, since Sarah brought it up about bullying and stuff, about a student last week at the middle school that had been getting bullied. She's a very shy gal, and after complaining and filling out numerous anti-bullying papers, because that's what you have to do when you're getting bullied, she stood up for herself one day. She removed the bully's glasses, just took them off like this, got in his face and said, "Do not push me or hit me again," and then put the glasses on him. And the bully did not like that. He took his glasses off, crushed them in his hand, kept smacking her on the arm, and then finally slapped her on the face. And he broke his own glasses, but he told the school that she broke the glasses, and so she got suspended. But don't worry, because later that day they found out that he lied, but it was a little too late, and the parents have already taken that girl out of the middle school, and now she is at a private school. Good for them. It's ridiculous. And also, Sarah had said, that they showed the graphs and stuff at the school district, and she just said that there was 22, 23 students that have been taken out of public schools since October. And so I did a little math, and approximately that would be $345,000 lost to the school district, because the average student funding per student is $18,175. So for each student that leaves the public schools, that is how much money they are going to lose per student. So just with 22 students since October, they are going to lose $345,000. That is a lot. Now, just to reiterate that there is 1.1 million students in the public school system in Washington State. 70% of those are failing math in Washington State. 50% of those are failing reading in Washington State. So next February, I'm only going to mention this real quick, next February, we vote for the school levy. Most school money comes from our state properties, business and sales taxes, and local property taxes, which is commonly called maintenance and operation levies. So I'm just throwing that out there. And one more thing I'd really like to mention is that this coming year, we vote again in November, and in November, on November's ballot, there will be 3 openings for school board members. And that is in the upcoming one, and you have to file by May 15th. Now, I have no idea if Derek Sarley, Eric Rendall, or Ruth Latterroot are running again, but those are 3 positions that we need to have somebody run against them that's conservative, that can actually make a change and not have all of this ridiculous stuff that's going on in the school.
Yeah, and I believe that you just have to live within Walla Walla School District. Is that correct?
You do not
live
have to.
in a certain section. There's
Nope.
just different positions that you can run for. So if
Yes.
that's something you're interested in and you want more information, please reach out to us.
Yes, we will get you on the right track. We
Yeah.
need people.
Yeah, the other thing I was going to mention is Kathy was mentioning all the math and reading rates for our state, and I recently read just the heading of an article, because I literally did not want to open it up, talking about how graduation rates are up in Washington State. And I just find that comical, because the only way that's possible is because they just continue to lower the standard. And that's horrible. That's not what we want for our kids. And so please reach out to us if you have any questions, and I'm sure we'll see you shortly.
Yes, thanks.